have the best business idea, you're ready to get started, but there's one problem. You don't know how or where to start. Well, I can help you with that. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step process of registering your new business in Jamaica. Hey, it's Yasmin Abdallah from the Jamaican Experience with Yaz, where I bring you a Jamaican experience that transcends sand, sea, and sensimilia. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is about all things Jamaican. So if you like the video and you want to see more content like this, type yes in the comments below. Also, if you like the video, leave us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for more great content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram at Yazzle. So let's jump right into it. You want to start a business, you're ready to start your business, but you might be a little intimidated about the process. You don't know where to go or how to go about registering your new business, your new venture. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process on how you can do that. Step one, the first thing you need to decide is how do you want to register your business? By that, I mean the legal structure that best fits your enterprise. What type of legal structure do you want to be operating under? What type of protection do you need under the law? The purpose of your business. What do you plan to do with this business in the future? Where do you want to go? All of those are important in how you decide to register your business. So let us look at the registration structures that we have here in Jamaica. You can register your new venture as a company, a limited liability company. You can register as a sole trader, or you can register your business as a partnership. I'm going to go through quickly what all three of these are. If you register as a sole trader, you're saying that you're self-employed and you want to own and operate your business by yourself, under your name, with all of your assets liable. I'm not going to go much into the lack of legal protection that you have as a sole trader, but I will say that traders offer the least amount of protection under the law, and I personally don't recommend it. Next, you can also register your business as a partnership. The partnership refers to two or more persons joining a business, entering into a business arrangement, or operating a business jointly for profit. So basically, you and someone else jointly owning a business for profit, and that can be, you can have up to 20 persons in a partnership in Jamaica, and one of your partner can also be another company. Now, if you decide to register your business as a partnership, that means you can have, in Jamaica, you can have 2 to 20 persons as a partner. Now, there's some really nice benefits under the law to register in a partnership. However, there are some legal issues to consider, like the type of partner that you have, is the person responsible, and a whole host of other things. Because what you're basically saying when you register your business with a partner is that if that partner fails to carry their responsibilities as far as the company is concerned, you're going to take that. I'd recommend that you read up on partnerships in Jamaica and the law that governs that before you decide to enter into a partnership arrangement. Now, if you're saying at this point, well, wow, I was planning to own my business by myself, I don't want a partner, you can still do that by registering as a company. You can still be the sole owner of your company. All you have to do is take all the shares for yourself. So the third type of new venture or new enterprise that you can register is a company. And by that, we mean a limited liability company. This offers the most protection under the law, which means that your personal assets are not liable, not likely, under normal circumstances, not likely to be affected by debt or creditors or anything like that. So a company is really a commercial enterprise that is registered or incorporated under the Companies Act of Jamaica. And the Companies Act is really just legislation that governs the operation of and registration of companies in Jamaica. You can actually download the Companies Act. I mean, it really is a lot, and most people don't need to go through reading the entire Companies Act anyways. It's good if you can, but you don't really need to do that. You just need to read the information that's relevant to you and your type of business, unless you have the time to go through the entire Companies Act. Next, thing is, there are two things to consider when you're registering a company. Are you registering it as a non-profit organization, like so you're operating this business not for profit, for charity, or a non-government organization, or some sort of club? Right? So if it's not for profit, then it's a different type of form, it's a different type of registration versus if you're registering for profit. Now, let us focus on the profit side, because most people who are registering businesses anyways are registering their business for profit, to offer goods and services for profit. So once you register as a company, you're referred to as a limited liability company, which basically means that the owners of the company are not personally liable for company debts or liability. This, among so many other things, makes the company structure the best option for registering your enterprise or your new business. It also makes it easier for you to access loans and benefits from the financial sector, from the bank. Now you know about the different types of structures that you can register your new venture, your new enterprise. But the next thing is, before you show up at the company's office ready to sign up on whichever one you decide that's best for you, you need to choose your business name, one that fits the type of business that you're going into perfectly, or as best as you can. Now, I've made this mistake before. I select a business name, I show up, I assume that I'm going to get the name. No, it was a bit of laziness, because I could have searched the name online. Yes, you can search on the Jamaica Companies Office website. You can search a business name to see if it's available. Obviously, the name you've selected, if anyone else has that name, you're not going to be able to get it. Also, if the name is close to someone else that's operating, chances are you're not going to get it either. You can probably make a case if you're in a completely different sector, but it's really risky. So what they recommend actually at the company's office is that you have 3 possible options in terms of names for your business that you like. So if one is not available, you can get one of the other 2. You can do this search on the company's website yourself to see what's out there, if your name that you've chosen is already taken, in which case you can start working on some other names. Also, they can do this search for you at the company's office, and I think it's about $500. I know that once you've selected a business name, you can go to them and they can reserve that name for you for a period up to 90 days, 3 months basically, at a cost for $3,000. I think you have to pay this fee anyways to register the business name, even when you're registering a company, in addition to the fees for the other things that you have to pay for. So where are we now? We're at step 2, thereabouts. So you know what type of business structure you want, and you have selected your business name. The next thing now is to go in and actually register your enterprise, your new venture. If you're registering as a sole trader, you are required to submit a business registration form, BRF1, or as they now call it, a super form. A form that looks something like this. Looking at the business registration form, and this form is required for companies, businesses, whether you are a sole trader or whether you're applying as a sole trader or you are applying as a partnership type of business. This is required for you as long as it's a new entity. So this is what the form looks like. I'm just quickly running over the form. As you can see, one of the first thing you are required to state is whether you're registering a company or business name. As well, the type of organization that you're registering. Here it asks you to choose if it's sole trader or partnership. And there are some other things, standard things, your address, your personal information. Right. So this is pretty much it. This is what the document looks like. The BRF1 for all new entities, whether it's a corporation or you're registering a business as a sole trader or a partnership. So if you're registering as a sole trader or a partnership, you only need the business registration form, also known as the super form, if it's a new venture that is, as well as your ID, TRN, personal documents, proof of address, Proof of business address, that's another thing I neglected to mention in the earlier part. You also need to know where your business is going to be located. I think that's pretty much it. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. At a cost of $2,500. For the partnership, it's $2,500 for persons up to 5 partners, and if it's up to 20 partners, it's $5,000. And one of them is a company, it's $3,000, roughly, you know, within the same price range. Next, if you are registering a company, you are required to submit the articles of incorporation along with this same business registration form. The articles of incorporation look something like this. Now we're looking at our articles of incorporation. This is necessary when you're registering a corporation. Form 1A. This is for corporations for profit. Remember, we have our non-profits and of course for profit, which most of us are doing if we're planning to sell goods or services for money, basically for profit. Now you can select here, new incorporation requires stamp duty. That's also included in the total cost of $24,500. The stamp duty, I think that's what the $500 is for. Here again, first thing comes up is to name your company and just, you know, type of company, public or private. In many cases at this stage, it's private when you're just registering your business. And it asks you to select the article, the schedule that is appropriate for your type, for what you are doing. So you need to know about that. But they'll also help you at the company's office if you're not aware. Here we have ordinary shares or preferred shares. Which class of shares are you going to be issuing as a company? So you need to know about these types of shares. Perhaps I might do that in a different video, but not today. Your minimum or maximum number of directors. Then you go into the directors information. The directors also need to provide ID, TRN, proof of address, basic document, their occupation and contact information. You need to have at least one director, and you can be a director as well. Even though you are the owner of the company, you can be the owner and the director of the company, and you need to have a secretary. They will be required to sign their relevant sections. And here, you know, you write how much shares you are issuing. You need to say how many shares you're going to be issuing as a company and so on. That is a decision that you have to make for yourself. Okay, so this is the form in a nutshell. This is everything in a nutshell on registering your company. I advise that you take it home and get it done. But it's not hard, you know, you just need to be calm. And if you're prepared for what's to come, it will be a much easier process. Also, if you are registering a corporation, you need to know who will be your directors, who will be your secretary. I think you need at least one director, and you also need to have a secretary for the company, and the secretary cannot be that one director. You, as the owner of the company, if you are the only owner of the company, you can also be a director, and then you can have someone else be the secretary of the company. And of course, you can add other directors. You will need to say the minimum amount of directors, the maximum amount of directors. Those are all the things you need to consider. Also, the type of shares that you will issue. If you are going to be issuing shares, the type of shares that you're going to be issuing. All of those things, preferred shares, ordinary shares, you can quickly read up on those, or you can ask someone to explain to you, so you are aware of those things before you go and sign these documents. However, the reality is you can make amendments to these documents. It's just, of course, a tedious process, and you're going to have to do it again. New form, new payment. So if you can avoid that initially, that's the best thing to do. To register a company, a corporation, it is $24,500. And to be honest, there are some other fees, because when I did it, I'm pretty sure I paid something close to about $30,000. I think that's also the business registration form and a few other things. So that's the process in a nutshell. I really hope I didn't leave anything important out. However, if I did, I do recommend that you visit the company's office of Jamaica website. I will link it in the description below. Also, I will link the forms relevant for the sole trader, partnership, and the corporation below. I also think you can go to the company's office as well and ask them to explain some of these things to you. You just need to have some patience, when you go there, because you might be waiting a while. So what are my thoughts on the process, having done it before more than once, but only once that I had to do the entire process almost pretty much by myself. I showed up at the company's office with a name, that's the name I want, and nothing else. So I showed up with one name. Needless to say, I had to go back home. I couldn't have gotten that name. So I had to go back home and did some deep research, and try to find something as close as possible to the name that I wanted. So that was annoying, because then I had to make a second trip to the company's office. The next thing is your business address. I didn't think about that before. I mean, I had an address that I was going to put the business, but it's just not something that I thought about carefully before, because of the type of business that I'm registering. So if you don't have a location, that's something you also need to think about. As it relates to directors and secretary, especially if you had intended to be in business by yourself totally, but you want the legal protection of a corporation, you really need to be careful about who you select for your directors and your secretary. They can always be removed, but it's a tedious process, and they do have some say about how you operate that company once you have them listed and the company is registered. Secretary will need to sign off on a lot of things. So it is important that you're selective, really selective about choosing these people. The last thing I want to say, and it's sort of like, a pointer. As a Jamaican registering your business in Jamaica, depending on the type of business you're going in, it is best to be cautious about putting up your business on social media before you legally protect your business name and your idea, because this is something that there are literally some people in this country who just wait for somebody to come up with a fantastic idea so they can thief it. That's just the fact. Whether it's your name, your business name, or some sort of idea, so they can run with it. You can always stop people from going to do something that you're doing, but at least protect your business name and your interest to the extent that you can protect it. If you like the video and you want to see more content like this, type yes in the comments below. Also, if you like the video, leave us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for more great content like this. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Yazzle. We upload videos every week, so hit that little notification bell and you'll never miss a video when we upload. Thank you for watching, and remember, Jamaica is not just a place, it's an experience.